Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. Let's take a look at a video.
We have trivialized marriage by insane and immoral things like redefining marriage and saying that two members of the same sex can marry. First of all, marriage is pre-political. Marriage was made by the hands of God in paradise. It has nothing to do with the state. It has nothing to do with politics.
So this is not supported by any data. The earliest marriage contracts of which we are aware come from 3rd millennium BCE Mesopotamia, where they are economic transactions between men who are exchanging the sexual availability and the procreative capacities of a woman. Now that's coming over 1,000 years before the creation of the Hebrew language, and even longer before the composition of the story of Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden. But the conceptualization of marriage as fundamentally transactional between a man and a woman's father is the same throughout the Hebrew Bible. And here's just one example of how marriage is fundamentally about transactions between men. When we look in Deuteronomy 22, there are laws about rape, and the penalties are different depending on the marriage status of the victim. If a woman is betrothed or already married, meaning that man has already entered into a contract with the woman's father for the exchange of her procreative capacities and sexual availability, then the penalty is death, because that particular exchange was considered a sacrosanct contract. If she has not yet been sold, meaning she is not engaged, she is not married, then the penalty is a fine. And the perpetrator must marry the victim and is never allowed to divorce her, because she's now damaged goods and she is not eligible for proper Israelite marriage. But the fine doesn't go to the victim. The fine goes to the victim's father, because he has rights over her sexual availability and her procreative capacity. So he is the injured party. So throughout the Hebrew Bible, marriage is still conceptualized as an economic exchange, as transactional. It is romanticized in some places, but never in the absence of that fundamentally transactional feature of marriage. And if you would like more on marriage in the Bible, Jennifer Bird's book, Marriage in the Bible, is an eye-opening discussion.
Politicians have no authority from God to touch marriage. They can either respect it and be blessed by God, or they can manipulate it and be cursed by God. Our Western world is full of arrogant politicians who are overextending their authority by addressing the subject of marriage at all. No one has in the history of the human race has been so arrogant and so stupid to do what we have done.
So this entire argument is contingent upon and entirely reliant on this naked assertion of unilateral authority over marriage, an assertion that is not supported by and cannot be demonstrated by any data. It is a dogma. It is something that one must just choose to accept, and any and all arguments that can be produced by this creator at some point are going to retreat to, well, you just have to accept this authority, or you just have to believe this claim, or you just have to agree with this dogma, which shows this is not an argument for anyone who doesn't already agree. This is just the performance of conviction and confidence for those who already agree, but need to be made more secure in their agreement. And the fit for this video has been venom.